Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rhonda and I garden in Zone 9A in Southeast Louisiana. And today I'm going to do something that I just found out is possible. This is a peace lily and I've had this for a few years. And I've put it in a bigger container maybe a year or so ago, and it is so dramatic that it's constantly needing water. And if I miss watering it for a week, this is what it does. And it's also losing some leaves. So I'm going to put this in the ground. Now, in my zone, it's not frost hardy at all, but in my zone, it should come back. It may die back to the ground in the winter, but I'm going to try my best to remember to cover it when we have temperatures in the freezing temperatures. And if it doesn't come back, then it's not a big deal because it's really sad looking and it's not doing good inside. So I'm going to put it in the ground and see how well it does in my area, right here in the shade under this tree, where I've got some coleus and some hostas. And let me show you this new plant that I got. Well, it's kind of new. I bought it maybe a month ago, but this is a Brazilian orchid. Well, okay, it's an iris. The name of it is Brazilian orchid. But look at these blooms. This is the second or third flush since I bought it. It had a flush on it when I got it, but this is the second new flush. And this is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, I was told that this would live in my zone. It is a tropical iris, so we'll see. I think I paid 20 something dollars for it. I don't want to lose it, of course. So but it'll be kind of a test, I suppose, to see how it does, a trial in my garden. So let me go ahead and get this hole dug for this horrible looking peace lily. I'm going to stick it right there, I believe. Well, I had to go find my shovel, but oh my gosh, look at the color. Look at the color of this. Is that not just gorgeous? That's my Aphrodite, Althea, Rose of Sharon, with some dark pink Agara and some yellow daylilies. I don't know what actual variety those are, but these are just gorgeous. I love the blossoms on this Rose of Sharon. What's pretty is when these triple orange daylilies bloom. That orange contrast with these pinks is just beautiful, and they're getting ready to bloom back there. So I just love this view when that is in bloom. I wish it bloomed more than once a year, but it will bloom for quite a while. All right, let's go get that peace lily in the ground. Still got to prune off all of that dead growth, but I will do that later. I hope I don't run into too many roots down here from this tree. And I want to put it in an area where it's going to get tons of shade. All right, I put it in at a little bit of a forward angle, and I knocked off the old soil. Look how dry it is. Even though it's been getting watered, it's just dry as a bone. It's like it wasn't retaining. I guess it was what they call hydrophobic. But it looks like it's going to be in a good spot. Looks like it should do good here, at least throughout the summer and the fall. And then we'll see next spring what has become of it. Hopefully I'll get some blooms off of it this year. It doesn't bloom a lot in the house, and I'm assuming because it's not in good condition, but I think it'll look really good right there, especially when it's blooming. So next project is this. It's a Colocasia. I think they're also called an elephant ear. But I'm going to put this in my shade garden out here under this laurel oak tree. Right here where I've got several caladiums coming up out of the ground, they're still popping up little tiny growths everywhere. I picked this up at Tractor Supply 2 days ago. They had it 25% off. It cost me 18 something. The name of this is Redemption. Is that not gorgeous? Look at these leaves, foliage, whatever they're called on an elephant ear. It is just absolutely beautiful, that coloring. It's like almost a black, a greenish black with this beautiful red in the center. All right, I'm going to probably put it right here, but I'm considering taking these gaura out right here and putting it in that corner instead. Just because I think the soil is a little bit better right there, because I've had plants in the ground for the last few years right there and nothing in this area. So I'm afraid that this right here is going to be very, very rooty, where it doesn't retain water very well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put it there and dig these out. Okay, this is a part sun plant, and where it is at, it will get part sun. It is getting close to going into the shade, and it is almost 11:30, so it's going to get morning sun. Let's see what the thing says in the back. A dramatic new color with jet black leaves with a hot pink center and pink veining that intensifies in the heat. Polished with a shiny rippled finish to its leaves. Excellent poolside planting. Well, I don't have a pool, and nor does my husband want to get a pool, so it's going out here. Zones 7 through 11, water regular, don't let the soil dry out. There's a roach running towards me. We have a lot of wood roaches out here. Apply a balanced liquid fertilizer during growing season. Trim back leaves to the base if needed. And all of my elephant ears, they die back anyway, and I don't have to really cut them back. They just die back and disappear, because I don't think I even had to get rid of the leaves out here on my Royal Hawaiian right there and that one. They may be different, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna water this in. Oh, I want to show you what it looks like from this angle with the sun still shining on it. Look how pretty that is. It just stands out right there in that corner. Gorgeous. Hopefully it's going to enjoy its new spot. And that bed will fill out eventually, very, very slowly. I need to water it quite frequently, because let me show you what the soil is like. This soil was actually pretty good, and it's, like I said, I had those gaura in there for probably probably 3 years. But you see all the roots? It's extremely rooty. It's just roots. That's pretty much what this entire bed was like, digging in, putting all these things in here. It was pretty much like this. So I didn't amend it at the time either, but I did put black cow manure over the entire top of this, and I'd probably need to do it again. Looks like I accidentally stepped on one of my caladiums. I need to put another layer of black cow manure on here just to help get the soil to do better. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's probably actually worse than the soil over there, which is clay. My roses are doing okay. While I'm at it, let me show you my Abraham Darby. I had one blossom the other day and it was absolutely gorgeous, but I've got more opening up. Look at this. Abraham Darby smells wonderful. Got lots of little buds on here. So excited about that one. This is Brandy. This one is Tropicana. And my Saint Tropez, putting on some growth, some buds and some blooms. Ooh, I've got to show you something else. Let me zoom back out. So this is a white drift rose. I planted this, was one of the very first things I planted when this was just grass out here. Actually, it was just dirt. This was all wooded. The whole area was just woods. And we didn't own this portion of land when we first bought the house, but it was a lot that was for sale, and then the lot on the other side was for sale. We quickly bought both of them because we didn't want anybody building a house next to us. I've got an elderberry growing in here that I cannot get rid of. I've cut it back so many times, and now there's another one growing over here. I hate those things. They're native out here. They grow all over the creek. But anyway, this white drift rose, I've had to cut it back because it gets way up here. It gets over my head, and I'm 5'2", so you can't go by the sizing on the tag. It's not always accurate. And I have a pink drift rose. So these are the first two roses, the first two plants that I planted out here was the pink drift, which actually gets a little taller than the white one, and then this white one. But I've got volunteers coming up. There's a volunteer right there. I have a volunteer right there. And then this volunteer has a rose on it, and it's pink and white. And it looks slightly different than my sweet drift, the coloring on that. I believe they cross-pollinated and gave me a new, unique rose. I'm not 100% sure, but I've been comparing the flower, and they don't look exactly like the sweet drift. There's some coloration differences. Like this has all the colors in one blossom. Generally a sweet drift starts out that dark pink and then it fades to very, very pale pink. This has dark pink, light pink, and white all in one. Look at that sweet little blessing from God. So I'm just in awe at that. When I was over here watering, well, I wasn't watering, what was I doing? Oh, I was digging that old tree log that I had my husband put in here. It's decaying really bad. It was a beautiful piece at one time about 2 years ago, and it's decayed down to nothing now. So I was over here kind of tearing it up, breaking it down, and I saw this, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Anyway, I'm happy. I will probably be digging that out, and I may wait until the fall or the winter. I don't want to risk losing that right now. So I'll let it grow some and then transplant that somewhere else. Yay! Okay, I got the Gara planted, and I do think that one's a white one, and I didn't plant white out in that bed, but I don't recall planting a white one here either, and this one's white. So I don't know if Gara tends to cross-pollinate. I'm not sure. But I do know that they can multiply. I don't know if they're supposed to, but I had those little bitty ones growing up, and I only planted one out there a few years ago. And that bed right there, all it had in it was some triple orange daylilies, some canna lilies, and the Gara. That's all I planted. So I never really did anything with it until I made this rose garden, and then I just all connected it all together and planted all kinds of stuff in there. But I've got the pink ones, the little pink ones, one's there, one's there, and then I've got one here on each side of this one. No, just that one. So there's 1, 2, 3 pink ones that I planted, and then this white one. I think it's a white one. But, I do have another project I want to do on video, so I'm going to go in my back patio and do that. And before I do that, I need to go check on this furry mama kitty because she's nursing babies, and God just so put me in her path, I suppose, because it was a voting day, and my voting precinct is at a fellowship hall at a church a couple of miles down the road. And otherwise I would never have seen this cat. She was malnourished, literally begging me for food. Luckily, I had 2 cans of dog food in my car that I had kept in my trunk for stray dogs or homeless dogs that I see, because I don't like to see animals starving. So I keep food in my trunk, and she ate both of those cans. They were those big cans of dog food. That's all I had. I didn't have any cat food, and I was afraid to leave and come back. She might not be there, so I fed her. And I've been doing this for probably 6 weeks. Most of the time she's not there, but 15% of the time she is. And she's been there the last 3 days that I've gone. So I'm gonna go check on her and give her some food. Okay, I'm back here on the back patio. These are the 2 containers I found on clearance at Walmart for $15. It looks like I saved $14.74 per container. These have Mandevilla plants in them and cordyline. There's this one, and after looking it up, this could either be harlequin or kiwi. And then this one is probably red sister. Tropical plants. I'm going to put one in this container and one on the other side. These are filled with a fern that I put in last year. I don't know if it's a Boston or Kimberly fern. So generally my ferns come back, but I didn't water these all winter. And we had a really bad winter with snow, so that might have killed them. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to put these beautiful container plants in. It's going to drop them in, and that's all I'm going to do because they're going to fill out the containers. Also, I never used this type of potting soil before, but I needed some, and I was at Dollar General, so I just picked some of this up. So we'll see how this works. It says it has fertilizer in it. So I don't know what happened to this soil in here, but it doesn't even look like potting soil. This is horrible. I'm pretty sure I put potting soil in here at one time. But this is bad. So I'm going to try to dig out a considerable amount of this and backfill with the bagged potting soil. And mix it in with the soil that's in the container. And then top it off with that. I don't have enough bagged soil to fill these containers up entirely, so I'm going to work with what I have. Trying not to hit that wind chime again. It's loud. Roots look good. Very pretty. It's a little bit high. I'm going to slide some of this to the side. I am going to say I like this potting soil. I think I actually like it better than Miracle Grow. It has a better texture. Seems like it has less wood pieces in it. So I may go back to Dollar General and buy another bag of this. It was $10 for 1 cubic foot. That's probably about the same price as Miracle Grow, I think. Not a bad buy. All right, now let's work on this one. All right, this project is done. These are very pretty, perfect for these containers. This one doesn't have any Mandevilla blossoms open at the moment, but this one does. And I just think these are so cheerful looking. Very pretty. I'm happy with how they turned out. Not bad for $30 for the both. Well, that completes my projects for the day. I am going to show you some footage of my Natchez crepe myrtles in bloom, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.